You tell yourself never again, and yet you fall for someone who won't fall for you. You text them in the morning and they reply at night. Somehow they're always busy, especially when it comes to you. You try to understand, to be patient, but one question keeps nagging at you. Am I the only one trying? I'm Jourdan Travers, a clinical psychotherapist. And if you've asked yourself that question, then let me show you 3 signs of emotional unavailability, backed by decades of research and what I've observed in therapy. Sign number 1, their replies feel cold or come too late. Faster replies are scientifically linked to emotional connection, interest, and warmth. In 2022, a team of behavioral scientists led by Dr. Emma Templeton wanted to decode one of the most invisible signals in human connection: response time. Not what you say, not how nice you are, not even how often you talk, just how quickly you respond to someone when they speak. Because instinctively, we all know it matters. So the researchers ran 4 studies across 10,000 real conversations. Friends, strangers, text, voice, live lab experiments, you name it. Sometimes they let people talk naturally. Other times they manipulated response delays by just a fraction of a second to see what changed. And what they found was astonishing. The faster someone replied, the stronger the emotional connection the other person felt. Even a half a second delay was enough to make people feel less understood and less important. Fast responses emerged when people were truly present, the researchers noted. People described faster conversations as warm, easy, flowing, like they were truly seen. Slower replies, disconnected, cold, off. And this wasn't just a feeling. Third-party observers who listened into those conversations rated it the same way. Same words, different timing, totally different impact. People don't always notice the delay, but they feel it. So when someone reads your text and doesn't reply for hours and then just says, okay, that isn't just that they're bad at texting. That's emotional unavailability. Sign number 2, they don't ask you anything real. You send a long message, not just what you doing. It's a real text. Something about your day, something that made you spiral, something vulnerable. You reread it twice before hitting send, and then, haha, yeah, or that's wild, or LOL, true, or worse, no reply at all. No curiosity, no follow-up, no what happened next, or how are you feeling now? And suddenly, you don't feel seen at all. Like they're watching your story play out from behind glass. They're there, but not with you. You start feeling embarrassed for even sharing, like you exposed something real and they didn't meet you halfway. That's emotional unavailability, and the science backs it. In 2020, researchers published a review exploring exactly this dynamic. They weren't studying ghosting. They weren't even focused on breakups. They wanted to understand one thing. Why does it feel so painful when you share something real and the other person doesn't engage? So they analyzed decades of relationship research on one key behavior: self-disclosure. That's the act of opening up, saying how you feel and letting someone in. And here's what they found. Disclosure isn't just a moment. It's a mutual process. It's a back and forth that builds intimacy over time. When one person shares and the other listens, asks, responds, or mirrors, that's how connection grows. But when you share and the other person doesn't respond meaningfully, that loop breaks and your brain feels it. Even worse, the research shows that when the disclosure loop stays broken, people start questioning the relationship itself. They feel more alone, even when the other person is present. The relationship becomes fragile, shallow, and easier to detach from. So when someone is not as much invested in your life as you are in theirs, that's a clear sign that they are not emotionally available. Sign number 3, they avoid conversations involving feelings or commitment. You're crying, they're sitting quietly. You finally open up about what's been hurting you, and they respond with a shrug, or change the subject, or don't say anything at all. You wonder, am I asking too much? But here's the truth. It's not that they don't hear you, it's that their brain is wired to disconnect the moment feelings get involved. In 2015, a team of researchers studied this exact behavior in adults with avoidant attachment styles. Using eye tracking technology, they exposed participants to emotionally charged images, both comforting and distressing. Here's what they found. Avoidant individuals had a two-step attentional pattern. First, they were hyper alert. Their brain noticed emotional signals, especially anything threatening interpersonal closeness. But then they looked away faster than anyone else. They didn't just ignore the emotion, they dodged it on purpose. Even images meant to convey comfort, like a caring face, triggered avoidance behavior. Because to them, emotional warmth isn't soothing, it feels risky. Researchers called it a deactivation strategy. It's how avoidant people regulate their emotions by turning them off. So when you talk about commitment, the future, or exclusivity, i.e. things that matter or signal intimacy, they disengage. Avoidantly attached individuals often grow up learning not to express their emotions at all. They don't always realize they're pulling back. But when intimacy surfaces, even as something as simple as, where do you see us going? Can we talk about what we are? Or do you really want this? Their brain interprets it as a threat and their body defaults to escape. So when someone avoids conversations that matter, when they keep things casual, vague, undefined, when they say things like, let's not complicate things every time you bring up feelings, it's not about you being too intense. It's about them being unavailable. So I hope the next time you catch yourself wondering, am I the only one trying? You give yourself permission to pause, to breathe, and to look at it honestly. And if the answer feels like yes, then it's time to ask a different question. Why am I still holding on? If you're someone who keeps falling into that same pattern, chasing closeness, ignoring the distance, explaining your worth to someone who won't listen, you don't have to keep doing this alone. Therapy can help you see the pattern for what it is and help you finally step out of it if you're ready. I'd be honored to walk that journey with you. You'll find the link to book your first session in the description below. And if you're not ready just yet, that's okay too. You can start by watching this video next, why you keep going back to your ex and how to stop. Until next time, I'm Jourdan Travers. I'm the clinical director at Awake Therapy, and I'll see you next time. Bye.